In 1826 or 1827, the French inventor Joseph Niepce discovered what we will later call photography. The first surviving photograph that opened Pandora's box was black and white view outside of Niepce's window. In 1924, German engineer Oskar Banach created the revolutionary Leica 1 model. Small and lightweight, it was the first camera allowed taking pictures on 35mm roll film. The successful design and construction of this camera will soon be replicated around the world, but most copies were made in the Soviet Union and Japan. However, after the Second World War, a fast-growing Japan quickly seized the lead in the global photography industry. Almost 200 years after Niepce discovered photography, there is no other country in the world like Japan that is so fond of photography. Giant shopping centers, small camera shops, a huge number of photo printing salons, large museums, famous private and amateur galleries. All this can be seen as soon as you get to this country. My name is Georgiy Romanov. I'm a photographer from Russia who is deeply immersed in the study of Japanese photography. I have come to Japan many times in attempts to understand many things here. In particular, what is photography? Why do we take pictures? For what reason? Why is interest in photography not fading in Japan? This film was created as an attempt to answer on those and many other questions. My path to the Japanese photography starts from there. Maria Madaido's book, The World Through My Eyes. Fascinated by the style of Gary Winogrand, Robert Frank, William Klein and Joseph Kudelka, I didn't think that there would be another photographer who could change so radically my idea of photography. "Look at this book," said my friend, "you should like it." I bought a book and from the very first pages my brain was absolutely totally broken. Is this a photograph? How did he do that? Who could pay for this? Why? How? What for? In search of answers, there were more and more photo books by Japanese authors on the shelf. When I couldn't buy more photo books, I sold my cameras, got a job to earn money to travel to Japan. A year later, I flew abroad for the first time in my life with a backpack full of monochrome film. It was a month of discovery, culture shock, personality reboot and a search for cult places seen in photo books. This experience impressed me so much that upon returning home, I locked myself in a darkroom and printed an exhibition of black and white photographs from Japan for several months. More than 100 monochrome works have been displayed on the walls under red lights. I wanted to recreate the atmosphere of the narrow streets of Golden Gai and Kabukicho in Shinjuku. Takuma Nakahira, the godfather of the cult magazine Provoke, created and described a new language in photography to protest against exposing objective reality through photography. After his book For a Language to Come, Nakahira-san radically changed his own style. Studying the work of Takuma Nakahira, I seemed to open the veil of secrecy over the Japanese school of alternative photography. After exhibiting photographs from Japan, I could no longer shoot with monochrome film and almost gave up photography. Something broke inside. I only picked up a camera when I flew to Japan. Again and again, an unknown force makes me return to Tokyo. In this city, you can wander endlessly. In March, the weather in Tokyo are changing dramatically. And it's amazingly freezing outside. I was not so even frozen in Russia. I'm going to Shinjuku station where I met my old friend from Osaka. He's a very famous Japanese photographer. Very interesting situation. I hated snow in Russia, but I like it in Tokyo, in Japan. Why? I don't know. Shinjuku literally means new inward in English. From the perspective of photography, this special area of Tokyo is famous for the large number of photo shops at the shopping district, an area of teeny shanty-style bars in Golden Gai, and the Kabukicho entertainment district. With Yamasaki-san we agreed to meet up near Don Quixote at 4 o'clock. It's almost 4 and I almost there. And I hope that Yamasaki-san is also there. Yamasaki-san, konbanwa!
Long time no see.
Present. Vodka. Let me explain who Yamasaki-san is. Yamasaki Koji is not just a photographer, it's a phenomenon. His book, In Osaka, fell into my hands. The photos were sloppy, blurry, I would even say disgusting, but I could not take my eyes off. I wanted to learn the art of creating such bad photographs. The first time we met with Yamasaki Koji was in Osaka, in the Shinsekai area.
Вот он, дорогие друзья, вход в великий ужасный район Синсикай, который сами японцы, как они говорят, очень злой и коварный. Возможно, так оно и есть с наступлением ночи, но, по крайней мере, сейчас я никакой, так сказать, опасности в воздухе не наблюдаю.
There, at the bottom of the glass, flowing from bar to bar, allow it creating a strong alcoholic friendship between. If you are a photographer, then walking around Tokyo, you cannot pass shops with cameras. Each major area in Tokyo has its own photography district. In Asakusa, Akiba, Shinjuku, Ginza, etc., etc. When you go to any of them, ask for a map, so you can collect each one in your area.
В любом фотомагазинчике таком маленьком можно попросить карту, камера, но мапу. Вот, все, так вот скажите, и вам дадут карту с другими такими маленькими магазинчиками. По большому счету, это единственный верный способ, как попытаться собрать их все, особенно в районе Асакуса и Уэно.
I remember the first time I got to the Ginza area and saw the Nikon saloon.
Дорогие друзья, я нашел магазин Nikon. И это самый большой магазин Nikon.
In this store, Nikon lovers will find absolutely all lenses that exist at the moment for the system. The store is located in the center of Tokyo's most expensive district. You should not expect good prices there. The scene at the entrance clearly indicates that annoying guests are not welcome here.
А это вот, друзья, хвалебный японский сервис. На самом деле их сервис недалеко ушел от нашего. Вот, то есть ожидать того, что вас тут будут лизать в пяточки, совершенно не стоит. Я даже боюсь заходить, если честно. С этой большой волыной. Может, потом зайду, может быть.
Walking around the Ginza, even without a map, next to one photography store you will find another. In one of those stores I found a collection of photographic films.
Дорогие друзья, я сейчас нахожусь в магазине уважаемого Сато, у которого собрана очень большая и интересная коллекция. Вот совершенно маленький магазинчик. У господина Сато обнаружилась великолепнейшая коллекция старых фотопленок Kodak с пленками внутри. Внимание! Сейчас я вам ее продемонстрирую. Такие чудеса возможны только в Токио. Да, Сато-сан?
Okay.
Of course, huge chain stores like Yodobashi Camera are getting the most attention. The main advantage of Yodobashi is that almost all the goods are presented to the buyer by the face, and you can try any camera, any lens, as well as any other equipment. It's comfortable. But what if you're attracted to film photography? In this regard, it's good to buy film in Yodobashi, but it's better to go to private photo shops to buy cameras. In addition to a paper map of the local photography stores, I recommended that you go to the Japan Camera Hunter website and see the online version. Bellamy Hunt, the author, did an excellent job of creating this interactive map. Not enough time? Go to Shinjuku. There, in addition to Yodobashi, you will find medium and small stores. But be prepared for the brainstorm. It's very difficult to navigate in the city from habit without knowledge of the language.
Вот, дорогие друзья, благодаря вот таким магазинчикам по-настоящему и жива пленочная фотография. Потому что выбор настолько огромный, а места настолько мало, что вот именно вот поиск бриллиантов в стоге сена и заставляет, что называется, сердце трепетать. Место обладает совершенно уникальнейшей энергетикой. Вот. То есть это не то же самое, что сумасшедшая Шибуя, не то же самое, что дорогущая Гинза, и совершенно не то же самое, что культурная Осакуса. Вот одну фишку я понял сразу: приезжая в Токио, здесь нужно потеряться. Когда ты теряешься, начинается самое интересное. Кстати говоря, местные тут тоже ни хрена не понимают, они тоже ориентируются по картам.
It's impossible to stop talking about cameras, but it can be done by visiting the headquarters of Nikon and Canon in Japan. Two enemies at the front of the photography, two rivals. Ironically, they are located in the same building, opposite each other.
Итак, друзья, шутки в сторону. Сейчас я попытаюсь ответить на самый главный фотографический вопрос человечества. Никон или Canon? В Токио есть два музея. Да, два музея Никона и два музея Кэнона. Я решил поехать в тот, который подальше от Гинзы, потому что Гинза слишком чопорная для меня. Я предпочитаю менее чопорные места.
I recorded this video in March, when the coronavirus pandemic was just beginning. Nikon Museum to the visitors was literally closed in front of me.
Из-за вируса музей закрыт, и когда откроется, совершенно неизвестно. Но я настойчив в своем решении, и сейчас мы делаем все возможное для того, чтобы хоть что-то, хоть как-то, в общем, нам помочь. Друзья, я сделал все, что мог. Верите, нет? Не могут они пойти наперекор, так сказать, всему. Музей закрыт. Фигу нам в крюк. Но дали немножечко сувенирки. Поэтому в битве Canon против Никона Никон получает 1 очко. Рядом находится музей Кэнона. Подозреваю, что, скорее всего, он тоже закрыт. Но мне интересно. Отца Симба. Ладно, это ожидаемо. Попробуем тогда найти лобби. Надо только найти, где это самое лобби находится.
This is the Canon corporate floor. There were no other people anywhere, but I was allowed to look inside. You cannot shoot there, but I didn't turn off the camera to show you large printers, more large printers, risographs and other attributes of Canon corporate printing.
битве музеев Canon против Nikon, я считаю, победил Nikon. Вот почему. Потому что даже несмотря на то, что они закрыты, даже несмотря на то, что Canon пустил меня в свое типа бизнес-подразделение, но я там ничего не увидел, меня профессиональным оборудованием не удивить, я на нем работал. Nikon 1 очко, Canon 0. Shame on you, Canon. Вы даже нормальную сувенирку не смогли предоставить. Я ее клянчил. Я клянчил сувенирку просто, чтобы вот хотя бы намекнуть. Но менеджер была дум-дум. Просто красивый дум-дум.
I go to color world.
This is Yamasaki-san's Color World.
Very beautiful song.ロシアの人です。はじめまして。エゴロ。どこか。英語喋れないからね。もうずっとこうやって喋ってたから。3回目ぐらいなんですよ。一番初めに彼が日本にやってきて。なんですね。今
ご存知でしたか。どうぞご覧になってみてください。
どれ飲みますか。ジュース。ブハイ。札幌おいしい。
Next morning.
I have a hangout. No matter what, today is my second day of little journeys with Yamasaki-san, and we together trying to sell one of my cameras. I wanna buy a new lens for this little beast.
We are in one of the largest shops for buying and selling photography equipment. Due to the lack of Japanese power connector, my camera is priced at a very low rate.
ちょっと減額発生しちゃいますがいいですか。
My camera cost only 2,000 yen. とても cheap. とても安い。What do you think, Masaki-san?
いやー、わかんない。その相場がわからない。相場？
ビールを飲みましょう。Let's go drink some beer.
The bar where we're hanging out, it's called Kodoji. Photographers gather here. A plastic doll in one of the corners is a living memory of the first owner who has already passed away.
だから本当に野宿しているよう。
Exhibitions on the wall are quite often here. There are many rare photo books on the shelves. Many books have become moldy due to high humidity, and the smell from alcohol and cigarettes has long been saturated with the tart smell of the walls. For me, this place is the paradise. Strange, yeah? You are there, where your soul is. My soul is in Kodoji, although my body is thousands of kilometers from Tokyo in Moscow. This bar has a tradition of leaving photographs on the walls. On my first visit, I hung up mine.
А сейчас я очень волнуюсь. Произойдет ответственный момент. Мы, отечественная фотография, оставляем частичку себя в японском баре.
And I came back again and again to see if it was still hanging on the wall. Yes, the picture is still there.
いやー、参った参った。
Masaki-san,
はい。
私の写真。Still here.
機械師さん？
機械さん？あ、隣？
これ、私の写真。
この人の写真ですよ、これ。
ありがとうございます。
On the second day, besides going to the bar, we went to Nakano with Yamasaki Koji. Nakano is one of the 23rd special areas of Tokyo, in which we were interested in the Kaido Gallery and Nakano Shopping District.
Me and Mr. Yamasaki-san going to Kaido Gallery.
Kaido Gallery.
Kaido Gallery.
Nakano.
Nakano. In Nakano.
The Kaido Gallery is a phenomenon in the world of photography. Founded in 2016 by a group of enthusiasts, the gallery is a Japanese example of how people can create something unique together. The existence of the gallery is supported by its members. Most of them are not professional photographers, have regular jobs and generally lead ordinary lives. Perhaps this is the spirit of Japanese collectivism. When I flew to Japan for the first time, the first thing I saw was a group of photographers taking pictures of a small bird in the center of Tokyo. They are fanatics doing senseless games. But when you watch how adults play this game, you want to join.
Взрослые дядьки с большими объективами гоняются за маленькой птичкой и получают от этого несказанное удовольствие. Что, собственно, они и должны получать от фотографии. Чего я и всем вам желаю.
Nobody cares how good you are in photography. Nobody cares what kind of camera you have. There is only you, the camera, and the world around.
Вот так вот японские дедушки проводят свой день. Наблюдение за птицами. Ну и создавая некоторые картинки. Как видно на снимках из космоса, группа довольно большая. У всех серьезные штативы, серьезные объективы и совершенно ненапряженные, несерьезные лица.
In the same year, 2017, photographer Koji Onaka, one of the Kaido Gallery's members, became one of the few who answered an unknown person from Russia and didn't refuse to show everything around. This made a deep impression on me and remained in my memory. I have always considered it important to print photographs, to make exhibitions, to show real art. However, every time I got the impression that only me and no one else needed it. All the photographers of Kaido Gallery support each other. Otherwise, it simply would not exist. Probably here Japanese collectivism meets European selfishness. You might think that the Kaido Gallery is the only one. Walking the streets of Tokyo, I found other galleries like Kaido. Minowa Station, a typical shopping street with the romance of old Tokyo. Walking here, least of all you think that you will find a photo gallery among stalls with fruits, fish and kitchen stuff. However, in just one place I found two. It was the second time I visited this gallery since exposition change often. Gallery names GPS stands as Gallery Photo Spot. Such galleries are quite popular in Japan. Their model can be compared to Kaido Gallery. People jointly rent a place or room in which they provided group or personal photo exhibitions. Gallery Photo Spot is a good example of the gallery where amateur photographers display their photographs.
私の写真展に来てくれてありがとう。好きな山の写真を長いこと撮ってます。どうぞゆっくり見てください。
This is why I really like the Japan and the most that Japan have a really strong photography culture. I can't even compare it with Russian culture. We have in Russia we have a strong photographers, strong authors, but the culture level is really low, maybe even there. I can't say that I have a big pleasure with such kind of photographs because for me they're really simple, but I like the honest, I like even the fact that the author creates prints and put it on the wall as an exhibition. This is what I like, I really like it. On the other hand, and on the same street, I was found Seiya Nakai photography shop. The author is a famous Japanese photographer. He takes pictures of trains from a unique perspective, almost like an art form. Seiya Nakai is active in a wide range of activities, like advertising, taking pictures for magazines, giving lectures, etc. etc. At first glance, I thought it was just a gift shop selling postcards, but after the conversation with the manager, I was shocked by the presence of this place on an ordinary shopping street. Not far away from Shinjuku Station, located one of the brightest stars of Japanese art photography scene, Place M. Organized by photographers such as Seto Masato, Onno Nobuhiko, Nakai Hiroyasu, Komatsu Toru and Moriyama Daido in 1987, Place M Gallery is still the center of future generation artists. This place cannot be ignored if photography is more than just pretty pictures for you. Strong photographers show their projects here. Have the courage and can afford rent, the gallery doors are open. On the day of my visit to Place M, John Supal was exhibited with his monochrome works. John leads a very famous photography blog called Tokyo Camera Style. I won't be lying if I say that his blog played a big role in my desire to study Japanese art photography, and I'm glad that I was able to see his work in real life over the net. Many of the photo books represented here at Place M. I have an opportunity to see the original one in Kodoji Bar. So if you want to see the original photo books like this one, Kikai Hiro, or this one, Seiji Kurata, you must go to Kodoji Bar or at Nakano Station to Mandrake shop and buying for big amount of money the original photo book by your own. Even if you cannot afford for yourself buying a book, you can take a promotional cards for the exhibitions for free. Nice. I have a lot of them for the memories.
I'm glad that I visited this place, and with the calm soul I can go to home.
Nakano Broadway Photo Printing Saloon. Most amateur photographers don't think about exhibitions on the gallery's walls. However, people's activity and variety of goods in this place makes me think that the Japanese print a lot of photographs. The main reason why we're taking pictures is to remember something. With the help of outlandish objects, film, various papers, and etc., we make the game of photography more exciting. At the end, any photos are combined into albums or printed in photo books. Mandarake Nakano is one of the biggest and busiest manga and anime places in the world. Visitors from the US, Europe and Asia come to this place. Inside of Nakano Broadway, Mandarake currently have over 30 different stores, separated by the kind of items they are carrying. In one of them you will find rare photo books, which I mentioned earlier, and new editions from rising photography stars. The smaller the space, the stronger the desire to take maximum from it. There is barely enough space between the rows of this store, and the abundance of unknown authors to me is breathtaking. If photography is a way to remember, then what is a photo book? Why do the Japanese print so many of them? An album with pictures is a personal space that remains within the family. An exhibition in a gallery is an opportunity to shout what is in your heart in the public, while a photo book is an opportunity to tell about what you want to remember to another person in an intimate setting, like a private meeting with a stranger. Or is it just a way to fit the exhibition in your pocket?
Is this your children?
No.
No?
Friends.
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 Very cute.
Yeah.
Small children's always cute. You live in Tokyo now?
No, Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
I live.
When you move into Tokyo? At what year?
15だから 20? About 20?
20 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, it was far. Long time ago.
This is my grandma.
She still lives?
No.
Passed away?
Passed away.
Mm-hmm.
We go back to Shinjuku and walking again on the streets of Kabukicho and Golden Gai. Big business neon lights in Kabukicho, the bright street lights of the entertainment venues, the narrow streets of Golden Gai, and the multitude of people create a unique atmosphere. The hand reaches for the camera, like it under magic, to capture a moment in the pictures.
カメラ。よし。よし。
One of my favorite authors, Maria Madaido, loves to walk those streets, from the late 60s to present day. I remember when I looking at those places in Daido's photo books, and now I myself, together with Yamasaki Koji, explore those cityscapes. Except for photographs and historical footage, not so much things can say about what once happened on the streets of Shinjuku. This is one of the bars that has preserved the atmosphere of the Showa era. It's run by Michiko Sasaki. On the walls of the bar there are portraits of people that look more like leaflets at police stations. Black and white, taken on a copy machine without details. But these are photographs of people that Michiko took during the student protests in the late 60s. Back then, explosive economic growth created many fears on the unknown. The youth were left to their own, and through these protests they tried to influence their own destiny. In Michiko Sasaki's book, Shinjuku, People of the Golden Eye, people smile, but in reality, the protests ended in riots and bloodshed. This movement didn't affect the political course of Japan, but thanks to them, I'm sure, the culture of manga, anime, and more importantly, the Japanese culture of alternative photography was born.
載せていいかっていう許可も取れないし。そうか。
I'm drunk.
同じ意見です。
Nothing the same.
Slow shot.
So slow, very slow shot.
Very, very. Hey. Wow. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, this one is really, really cool.
No chairs, no taxi.
All drinks. Almost all drinks.
Sure. Okay. Good boy.
There is no photographer who doesn't enjoy exploring the backyards of Tokyo. I belong to one of them. If I could choose destiny, I would choose endless wandering on the streets with a camera.
Open?
However, as a researcher of Japanese photography and a big fan of Mariyama's work, after our walk at Shinjuku, it was important for me to visit the places where Daido was oftenly. One of such places is Seiya's Bar in Golden Gai.
いやでもいいや。
僕がほら路地裏好きだとかね、こうバス停みたいなの好きだっていうのは。
誰でもいいや。わほほ。コンタクトシート。はい。This contact seat. Oh, very cool.
偉大なる学所ですよね、ここは。
かっこいい。Okay.
Oh,
You know?
I know.
You know.
Very famous.
Yeah, very famous.
Like a dog, stray dog.
Yes, 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 yes.
まあ野良犬とか野良猫とかなんか虫みたいなもんで。
I started my journey into the Japanese photography many years ago. On that way, I met different people, some of whom have seriously changed my point of view. The Japanese, as a nation, are very closed and don't willingly let people outside, but throughout photography I saw a desire to express their true feelings. And it doesn't matter if they did it with a photo book, a postcard or an exhibition in a famous gallery. The feelings of those people were not imposed by someone. Their personal work doesn't have or solve the serious problems of a city, country or humanity. It just exists and tells stories that couldn't be told on television, in social media or by a local newspaper. I started this film with questions, and as a result of a long study I came to humility. You don't need to have clear answers, but you will know right away if you find what you are looking for. Stop bothering the camera to shoot. Observe the beauty of this world. learn its forms and share your pictures with others. This is the conclusion that I came to.
Посещение этого места стало замечательным, я смогу сказать, гвоздем программы, потому что это, конечно же, место силы. Место, которое хочется будет посещать вновь и вновь, потому что там сосредоточено все, что ты так любишь. Это хорошо. Вернусь домой и буду вспоминать это время с теплотой и наслаждением. И надеюсь, что еще вернусь сюда. У меня все.